I was first saved back in 1976 when I was an undergraduate at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and me and my friends had this crazy idea that we could steal some books from people studying in the library and sell them back to the bookstore to get some gas money. So we ran into the library and stole some books, and I ran to the bookstore thinking I was going to get some money for this big book that I had grabbed. But lo and behold, it was a law school textbook, and they knew that it wasn't mine because I didn't buy it from the undergrad bookstore. So here it was, next to the last semester of my senior year in college, and I was going to get expelled for that act of stupidity. So I went home over that break, and I had been raised in the church. My mom always took me to church, so I knew there was a God, but I didn't have a relationship with him. But over that break, I didn't tell my parents, I didn't tell my friends. I just laid in my bed talking to God. And I said, God, if you can get me out of this situation, I will turn my life over to you and I'll live for you. And I meant it. And so I went back to school that January after that break. And when I went before student court, they said, since you've never been in trouble before and you told the truth about what happened, make restitution to the man whose book you stole. And I remember they said, one of the lowest things you can do is to rob a man of the tools of his learning. And that always stuck with me. And from that time on, I have tried to maintain a relationship with God. I moved to Florida for grad school. I didn't know anyone here. And I met Brother Herbert Peoples in the Florida gym one day. And he told me about a group of students who were praying. And I went to a prayer meeting on a Friday night in the Rights Union. And I had never experienced young people just laying before the Lord and just calling out in prayer, not rehearsed, memorized prayers, but prayers from their heart and singing songs of praise. And they did that for hours on end, and I was just so amazed. And I stayed around and I learned of God, and we prayed and fasted and studied the scriptures, and eventually I became stronger and I became better. And as I continued to progress, God gave me a wife. The doctor said we would never have kids. God gave me 3 beautiful daughters, and eventually he raised me up to be a minister of God. He raised me up to be an elder and a reverend with abiding faith, and he never took away my spirit of humor, my gift of making people laugh. He continued to let me be my green self, but he brought out the best in me, and I just thank God.